Norton and Sam Roberts,
With
and
the great Donald Sutherland.
Already being great. Donald Sutherland's in studio with us on the new show Ice. When do you pop up on this show, Ice? Because I watched 2 episodes last night. And I was like, "Is Donald? What are we watching here?"
No, but when
I was emailing Roland. I was like, "Donald Sutherland's coming in, right?" Because I just watched a TV show, and I don't think he's on this show.
Yeah, he's on the show, but he's not on it till episode 5.
Okay.
Because I agreed to do it in January or something, and then they changed everything. They changed the character. They changed the scripts. I mean, it's still basically the same idea. Jeremy Sisto plays a diamond whisperer, someone who has an idiot savant who knows diamonds. But my character was a nice guy, you know, someone who ran a diamond company. And the character that I play, and they delayed it, and I was doing a movie with Helen Mirren, so I couldn't get there. So they put me in as someone who is less nice.
I see. Do you like that? Or does it not matter to you one way or the other?
I don't care, because I don't play nice or bad, but it's just a matter of perception. I play the fella, you know? And this fella is attached to a knife.
Yeah.
Well, you play you play anything. You play great, a great, like in Ordinary People, a great real father, or you play a great. Let's see.
I've never heard that name on a man before, but I'm sure it's all right.
One of my favorite things you've ever done.
God. Oh, my God.
One of my favorite things ever.
Oh, God. Little Murders. My God.
He talks about, I mean, he's got a whole soundboard. It took me a day to figure out what movie it was from.
Wow.
He loves.
Wow.
I mean, let's be real honest. I mean, when I first watched the movie, I was wondering,
How long will it last?
one of my favorite things ever.
Do you remember these
Well,
quotes?
but the first one I remember.
That was
Little
also
Murders.
from the same monologue.
Oh, from Little Murders.
Yeah, yeah. They're all from
Because
Little Murders.
I don't recognize my voice in that. Yeah, that was from the same movie. Yeah,
In 1971.
Yeah.
Little Elliot Gould walking around the streets with a camera photographing dog shit.
Is that what he's doing?
And what was Vincent Gardenia like? I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who's ever worked with him.
Vince, oh God, Vince was hysterical.
He was.
Yeah.
It's a really funny movie. It's very underrated.
Is it odd to figure out at this point in your career what people like attach themselves to, like what people's favorite films are? You've done so much work. The minute that they hear your name, like I told my dad, for instance, over the weekend, Donald Sutherland's coming in, and he goes, "Clute."
Oh, Clute.
Clute was his movie.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Normally people say Kelly's Heroes.
Right. No, he's a Clute guy. Have you seen Clute, Jim?
I have, but I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah, Jane Fonda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or JFK. I mean, you got to get a lot of people remember you from JFK. That's
Yeah, but mostly Kelly's Heroes.
Really?
That's what it is. It's not.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Or Hunger Games, or sometimes it depends on the age of the person.
Right.
You know.
Is there anybody you won't play? Is there anything like you don't want to do? Like you've been offered, you're like, I just don't want to be that guy.
No, sometimes I won't be in, like Deliverance I turned down. Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dogs I turned down because at that time, to John I said, I don't want to be in a violent film. I don't want to be in a violent film. Good luck with that. James Dickey was on the phone saying, please do Deliverance. And I didn't. And John Voight did and had a lovely time.
Oh, they didn't want you to play the Ned Beatty part.
No.
Okay,
No,
you did.
No,
Yeah.
I was playing the part that John eventually played. No, I think Ned was always playing that.
And they offered you Dustin Hoffman's part in Straw Dogs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
They were both my parts.
And they redid Straw Dogs. How do you feel when they remake films? Sometimes they do it, and it's like, why do they do it? There's no CGI.
Remade
The Straw Dogs, yeah. I don't remember who was in it, but it wasn't necessary. It's not like it's a superhero film where they can have better effects.
Right. It's odd that they think that, and I guess because movies are so different now, they think that, a movie-going audience now can't handle the way stories were told then. So we have to remake it and do it for an audience now, whether it's more quick-paced, whatever it is. I don't know why it is.
They keep wanting to redo Don't Look Now.
Why?
I have no idea. I thought we did it really quite well.
Do they want you to be in it, or are they just...
No, I don't do a lot of love scenes anymore.
No, that's a shame.
By the way, you should, because you always smell good. The last time you were here, you had this amazing cologne, and you spritzed it on me, because I kept complimenting how good you smelled. I really was very fruity and annoying. And you sprayed it on me, and then you left your cologne bottle here, and I stole it.
You're lucky that you stole it.
Well, I mean, you had left. You left, and I just took it. It was like...
He appropriated.
Yeah, I appropriated. There was only like 2 drops left. It was not much. It was like literally almost done. And they came back and they asked the next day for it. I was like, it's gone.
You're lucky, though, because I feel like depending on the interview, I guess in that interview, you guys were talking about good smells. I've seen other interviews with you where flatulence is a big part of it.
That's what I say. Yes, it is. I mean, I started out there to demonstrate it and then saw Kylie standing right beside me and restrained myself. But yes. I am an excellent farter.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm famous for it.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes.
How are you famous for it? He just cut a gasser.
That was incredible.
Yes.
That was you shouldn't have. You shouldn't be able.
I would have done it to the microphone, but if you look at my position, that would have been untenable.
Get a microphone,
afterwards.
Adrian. What are you doing?
No, you're too late.
There was one in the chamber, and
the gas is turned solid.
And that was it. That was it.
What a gift that is.
When did you realize that? Because I always get upset. Like for instance, actors who are also singers. I go, you shouldn't be able to do both well, because for somebody like me who just needs to be, wishes he was talented at something, I go, how could you have both these talents? For you to be able to be this phenomenal actor and then also be able to do that seems unfair.
James Joyce was married to Nora Barnacle, and she always thought he should be a singer. Mm-hmm. And he was, in fact, a pretty good writer, maybe the best in the 20th century. He was doing an interview at the end of his life. He was blind. And they were talking about Finnegan's Wake and Ulysses, and I guess probably Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man. And the interview was for an intellectual journal. It went on for 3 days. In the middle of the 3rd day, the interviewer said, I would like to speak with you about your personal life, You're blind now. Your wife, Nora Barnacle, has been with you your entire life. She's been your wife, your lover, the mother of your children, your muse, your editor, and now here, she is your eyes. What do you have to say about that relationship? And Joyce thought for a moment, and then he said, I would know my wife's fart in a room full of farts. But I mean, can you imagine anything more perfectly defining our relationship?
That's
our intimacy.
Yeah.
But
can I tell you something? Yours. I don't.
I wish I would have known. I would have got ready for it. Can you do that again?
No, I can't do it again.
He's not a dancing monkey for you, Jim.
I fill my trousers with cologne every morning, and and that way it's just a negative effect. There's no odor at all.
It's amazing.
One counteracts the other.
But the audible quality of it, though,
really good.
It was very good.
Yeah, I also carry a Neumann U87 in my trousers.
What is that?
That's a microphone.
It's a microphone.
It's the best. It really is the best.
Obviously.
And I got the talent for that from my mother.
She could fart on command?
She didn't have to because she farted all the time. She was a crop duster.
Now, was this something...
Every step she took, you know.
Is this something she was doing for fun, to amuse you, or just to get it all out of her?
No, she was walking, trying to get away from them, and they kept following her.
Now, were you embarrassed by this, or was she embarrassed by this, or did she not care?
No, I just always kept ahead of her.
What a great gift!
Yeah, what an amazing talent that is. But so you have a reputation for being an excellent farter, but for it not to be, the odor not to be bad. Because
no, actually that's not true.
Oh.
There's a continuity woman who was sitting, oh, bless her heart, sitting down by the camera, and I had to walk through to pass by the camera.
Sure.
And the camera was just going to see me from the waist down. Mm-hmm. And she had her head beside the camera. Mm-hmm. And as I started my walk, I started to fart. As I passed the camera, she screamed.
It's a film. It's a big budget thing where you can't just stop and start.
No.
You know how bad your fart has to be for a camera operator to blow the take?
No, the continuity woman.
Yeah, of all people to blow the take, the continuity woman.
Yeah, she's not even the camera operator.
And she screamed because it was so odorous. My God.
You know how much
We're
that makes
talking
me
about
like
farting, and we could be talking about the election.
Yes.
Well, what do you think? Because you campaigned, well, not campaigned, but you were pretty vocal in your support for Barack Obama. You wrote a lot for Huffington Post. I'm assuming that you were a supporter of Hillary Clinton, based on that. Would that be a safe assumption?
I think it would be a safe assumption just based on the fact that I'm a human being.
Well, a lot of human beings voted for Trump.
Yeah.
That hasn't been decided.
You don't think so? See, you think there could have been a lot of people...
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, tell me.
I just made a movie with Helen Mirren called Leisure Seeker that Paolo Virzi, the Italian director who made Human Capital, he directed. And I said on the Today Show this morning that if it is one half as wonderful as the experience of making it was, then it will be absolutely sensational. Just terrific, really great. And in the middle of it, somewhere we were. I love her, loved her there, love her, and she's a great actor. And she stood in front of me and she said, "You are the most." Well, how did she? I want to look and find out what the exact word was.
Did you write it down?
I wrote it down because I wanted to talk about it. Where she said, "You are the most privileged person in the world." Privileged.
White male?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I had never thought of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had thought of it, but I'd never considered it, and it stunned me. I was filled with shame. And then recently when I realized what a white male has done in this society, in this world, it's pretty devastating what we are responsible for.
And yes, but also, and I know that there's a weird guilt that comes with it, but it's also responsible for a lot of good things as well. And we tend to, when they say white male privilege, it tends to be more an attack instead of saying we've benefited from a lot of privilege, because if you don't behave in a way where you're denigrating anybody else or you're trying to take advantage of anybody else and you're benefited from it, it's one thing to not recognize you've benefited from it, and it's another thing to actively take advantage of it. You know what I mean? There's a difference in the intention.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, for sure, she recognizes the value, but she also recognizes, I mean, it was an accusation.
Mm-hmm. Why'd she say it?
I think just because maybe I was behaving in a bad way. I have no idea. But just to inform me, I think, because I was probably certainly not as aware of it as I am today, and certainly when you watched the rallies of your president-elect. I mean, I'm a Canadian, so
right.
It's, I think it's safe to say that there were certain areas that were deplorable, and that was said and was outrageous, so I purposely say it.
Don't you think, too, though, in a way, what politics aside, that Hillary's, not even her, I don't know if it was her fault or Deborah Wasserman Schultz, they got caught. Like, he was saying, it's rigged, it's all fixed, they're all the same, and then they get caught screwing Bernie through these emails, and then they get caught having questions funneled to Hillary. I'm sure the Republicans do it, too, but they just got caught.
Did you see George Bush in that debate at the very first in 2000, when he had the bug in his ear, and people were feeding him the answers, and he said on television, and nobody picked it up. No press picked it up. He said, "I can hear you." And because I've worked with Marlon Brando and I know about these bugs, that so I knew right away, but everybody else put it aside.
Do you think that, because I think that a lot of it is that the white male privilege, that narrative started being told, where people should be ashamed. But people, I think, by the media and by other people, were made to feel like white males should be ashamed for the privilege that exists. And I think that people got so upset by that, saying, I haven't done anything as an individual. Why should I feel ashamed by this? That they revolted against the idea of being ashamed, being not being ashamed by maybe what somebody else had done that shares your skin tone, but the fact that you hadn't done anything. Right.
No, what I'm talking about is women. I'm talking about the treatment of women. I was with Jane Fonda in 69, 70, and she was talking about peace. She was trying to stop the war in Vietnam, and Ramsey Clark was doing the same thing at the same time. All of us on the road together. They were saying essentially the same thing, basically word for word. And Ramsey Clark, who was the Attorney General for LBJ, he got a nod and a free pass. Jane got eviscerated.
Was it because of the photo on the North Vietnamese?
No, that didn't even exist yet.
Oh, okay.
No. This was, customs people holding her, and she said, "I have my period. I need to change my temp." No, I've seen it happen to my wife. I've seen it happen terribly to her, where U.S. customs officials just try to tear her apart, and then oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Sutherland, because she doesn't have the same name as me. No, it has to do with the relationship between men and women, and that happened to Hillary Clinton. You can say whatever you like about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and so on, but she was raped by the media.
Hillary?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I thought that the New York Times actually wrote how they got it wrong with Trump. They were so pro-Hillary that they came out and said, we'll do better next time. They lost so many subscriptions. The New York Times just backed up and admitted that they were unfair in their Trump coverage, which was shocking to see them do that. It was shocking.
And leading to the election, it's no secret that every media outlet said this is Hillary's election.
And they were pro-Hillary.
Oh, yeah, no, they were pro her.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the stuff they did about her,
Like what type of stuff?
Oh, God, something.
I thought they loved Hillary, or they wanted her to win. Maybe it's just because they hated him so much.
Yeah.
And I think people could sense that. I think that people got the feeling like they're trying to tell us who to vote for. They're trying to tell us.
I agree with that.
And it was almost a revolt against the press.
Yeah, but it's an undercurrent. It's an undercurrent. The reasons why the Marie Le Pen in France, the fascist in Germany, it is Brexit. It's Colombia. Yeah. I mean, he does. He after a 50-year war, he spends all that time working out a peace agreement with FARC. Thinks it's a terrific idea and gives it as as an affidavit, as a whatever you call it, to the people of Colombia, and they reject it, and only 13% vote. I mean, only 51% vote. I mean, Hillary won the majority vote in a big time, and in a democratic election anywhere, she would be the president.
I'm okay with that. You're right. But the bottom line is the Electoral College, they just do that so the other states don't feel screwed. I tend to agree, but that's in place for everybody.
The Electoral College was there before it was, to let every state get there because they weren't being... But it's a country now. It's not individuals.
Yeah.
I think the way to solve that, because what happens is typically, like certain Republicans get certain ones. Like if the Electoral College was done differently, I think the Democrats wouldn't automatically get as many as they do from California and New York, because they can win something fairly closely and still get all the electoral votes. So it kind of screws both in a way.
But I'm not talking about them screwing right or left. I'm talking about it being wrong.
And Donald,
the idea of it is wrong. Okay.
Donald was on 60 Minutes last night, and he wouldn't flat out say, yes, the Electoral College is wrong, but he wouldn't support it. He still said, yeah, it's still, the Electoral College is still rigged. And they said, well, I'm surprised to hear you say this since you won. And he goes, well, I'm not going to change my opinion just because I won. I mean, it's tough to argue for the Electoral College.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tough one to win. We actually have to let you go. We're out of time.
Our show is over.
Our show ends. Our show is over. We're not trying to silence you.
I'm not finished.
The show is called Ice, and it's on the it's an AT&T show.
It's on Audience Network.
AT&T Audience.
The Audience Network.
It's shown on Uverse, and it's shown on